This is for all the people who are planning to travel to and from South Korea and need to know how to get to and from the airport. If you are not one of those people, feel free to keep scrolling. There are two major airports from Seoul. One is Gimpo and one is Incheon. Most likely, if you're coming internationally, you're coming from Incheon Airport, so we're going to focus on that. Similar to a lot of other major cities, Incheon Airport is about an hour outside of the actual city, and it's actually located in a city called Incheon. Besides getting a ride from a friend, there are 3 ways that you can get to and from the airport. The first is the AREX train. There is the AREX Express and the AREX All-Stop. They are different. Full disclosure, I've actually never taken the AREX Express because I just take the AREX All-Stop. The AREX All-Stop takes about 60 minutes and the AREX Express takes about 40 minutes, but the AREX Express you have to book a ticket for because you have a seat, but the AREX All-Stop is actually just a regular train. The AREX All-Stop is literally just the regular subway train, and then people will be taking this to and from work. The first and last stops are Seoul Station and Incheon Airport. You can also transfer here to other trains that you might need to get to wherever you need to go because it just connects to the regular subway line. It's important to note that they run pretty much regular subway hours. So from the hours of 12 to 6, they are not running. If you have a red eye, this is not an option. Also very important, if you think you're landing into Korea late at night and you're going to be getting into Seoul by taking this train and it's going to come in around midnight, then do not take it to Seoul Station because there's nothing around Seoul Station except the actual station, and there are going to be a lot of people fighting for cabs, and oftentimes the cab drivers actually inflate the fees. So I would take it to Hongik University, which is the area of Hongdae where there's always people and always a ton of cabs, so you won't be dealing with any of that. The second and my personal favorite way to get to the airport is from the airport buses. They usually are 4-digit buses. They start with 6. They are premium coach buses, and you can pay for a ticket with cash or with your transit card. They cost about 17,000 won, which is about $15 US per person. They run all throughout different parts of the city, so they service a lot more areas than just the AREX train, and they can bring you directly to the airport or if you're coming from the airport into the city center. These are a little bit more direct into certain areas. To figure out what bus to take and what times it's running, please download Naver Maps. That way you can figure out exactly which bus you need because, again, all different buses from all different areas. It's also good because you can see the timetables as well, so you know when it's coming. These buses also do not run 24 hours a day, so make sure that you are checking the timetables. The last way, and to be honest, my last resort, if I ever cannot take the train or cannot take the bus, I would call a cab. We do have Uber, so you can use that if you want. I always use Kakao Taxi, which is the taxi app here in Korea. It's kind of everyone's go-to. You can call a cab directly and in real time using this, or if you're worried about missing your flight or not being able to book a cab, XYZ, you can actually reserve a taxi using this app. You can either book a taxi in real time or you can reserve to book a taxi. I would say if you're coming from Seoul and you're just booking a regular cab, it's probably anywhere from 60 to 130,000 won, just give or take depending on where you're traveling to, what the traffic is, XYZ. But you can get an estimate before you complete the reservation. And then here, if you're booking a taxi, there is a standard fee applied, and you can only book venti or deluxe taxis. So the deluxe taxis are black taxis and they essentially cost a lot more money, and then the venti taxis are bigger taxis. So you can try to reserve a taxi ahead of time, which is very, very helpful. This is going to be at a higher premium rate though because you're reserving a more upscale taxi, I guess, and also you're reserving it ahead of time. That was probably one of my longest TikTok videos ever, but hopefully this helps everyone because I do think it is sometimes very confusing and people don't really know all their options. So there you go.